Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is actually something a little bit different. It's something we're very proud to be bringing to you, and it's about a new product. Yes. Okay, so the Alive Power Flash is here. So what is it? What do you do with it? Why do I need it? And how do we use it? Right, so today we've actually got a stage 3 remapping, and we're going to be using this vehicle as a demonstrator of how to show you what the Alive Power Flash is, etc., and what it can do for you, why you need it, why it's different to other tools that's out there, and why, if you've got a Td5, you can't live without one. Bit of a bold statement. So right, okay. Vehicle's not yet strapped on the dyno or anything like that, but essentially what this is, it's a plug-in device. No doubt there'll be a link below. It's a focus. It's a plug-in device that goes into the OBD port on your vehicle, and if I tried to list off everything right now that this thing can do, I wouldn't get it right. There's a huge list, so there'll be a link in the description below, perhaps to our website where all the information. But essentially, if you've got a 15p Defender, a late 15p Defender with a triple N ECU, or an early 10p running a 15p ECU, triple N ECU, you could use this for remapping. You could use it for changing your injector codes, doing security learns, doing immobilizer removals, reading and writing mapping from Alive. So it's a tool that you can only use it to read, or shall we say remap with, using Alive remaps. It's not something that you can buy and use for reflashing somebody else's mapping on. It's exclusively an Alive product. It's been made for ourselves. It's been developed over quite a while. It's something that Gary has been doing an awful lot with. We need to get Gary on the channel. Okay, comment below. Do you want to see Gary on the channel? Okay, so I want to see Gary on the channel. He gets to see me on the channel. Gary edits all of these videos and has all of the fun, looks at all of the bloopers, and puts me on YouTube in front of you guys. So yeah, in the comments down below, please. Gary, let's get Gary Wood. Let's have his full name on the channel. So I actually spoke with Gary about this a little while ago. I think it will happen anyway, about a sit down with me and Gary, explaining who we are exactly, who I am as well. I'm not Gary Wood. I'm not the owner of Alive Tuning. I'm the dyno man for Alive Tuning. Okay, so I do all the testing. I get to do the fun bits. So yeah, so perhaps what we might say at one point is fire us a load of questions. We'll have a sit down, we'll answer the questions, and yeah, explain who I am, how I came to Alive, what my history with tuning is, and yeah, so you can understand a little bit more about me maybe. So yeah, so essentially today, if I can get this to focus on there, that's better. The tuning suite, the program, the Alive Power Flash. So, right, let's plug it in. So, I'll just close this down for a moment. Boom. Yep, my car. So, right, I'm just going to need to put you down. Right, so the moment that you plug the Power Flash into the OBD socket, provided your OBD socket works and it's got power, it should actually light up red. So, what I would advise you do when you plug this in, USB in first, and then the diagnostic port. It's a much safer way of doing it. So let's load the Power Flash. I like to see this on full screen, and we just take an ignition on the vehicle. Whoa, very noisy fuel pump. Holy cow. Woo! All right, we might need to look at that. Turn the radio off. What? Right, that is not an original fuel pump. No way. Hopefully it will cut out soon.
A few moments later.
Fuel pump now. Okay, right, so one of the things I like to do first, once you've plug into the diagnostics port, ignition on, and either engine on or off. I like to look in here to check for codes, so we've got quite a few codes. It's so simple to connect to. Basically, once you've got the tuning, the program on the laptop, and you've connected to the vehicle with ignition on, it is so quickly brings up any data. It's very fast. I'll just adjust this. There we go. Might be better. Yeah, so aircon, I mean, yeah, if you've not got aircon, you generally have that code on a TD5. Same here. Find your fault codes here. And there's a live dashboard here, so engine data, we'll show you that very shortly. Injector coding. Encryption key, you need that one. The encryption key is the one that well, you can't use this or read or reflash a file. You can't reflash a remap without the encryption key. This is specific to Alive. So, right, okay, after plugging in, and you've done a health check with the vehicle, for example, what we'll do, we'll just have a look at some engine data as well. Okay, so the manifold pressure is reading correctly. Coolant temperature looks believable. Air temperature, that should come down. It's had a lot of heat soak, but it's coming down nicely. And let's have a look at the little track, the math, reading 56, so 2000 RPM, it should be around 180, 190. So yep, that's the math, that checks out okay. So obviously these are some base settings. You can there's a huge list of what you can actually display here. Once you stop recording, go into diagnostics, and then there's a huge list of parameters which hopefully the GoPro's focusing on. Doesn't look too great from here. Yeah, so there's a huge list of presets. So let's just pick a few. Let's turn them off, and then we'll turn on what we want. So, for example, engine speed, so that's your RPM. Code for, oh, I don't need that. Coolant, inlet temp, fuel temp is a good one. AAP, manifold pressure, so that is essentially boost. Make sure the math is right. IQ as well, injected fuel quantity. Now that is something I've not seen. I mean, we usually use a nanocom, or we've been using nanocom for a very long time. You never get to display IQ with one of those. I think that'll do. Oh, here's a funny one. So to get the window to go up, you have to touch it very, very gently. Who'd have known, eh? So, right, we don't need that. Right, so let's take a read. So what we're actually doing now is we're just taking a read off the vehicle, taking a read off the, oh, yes. Yeah, good old Pete. We won't watch all of this. Right, so we are, I don't know, 2/3 of the way through reading, 2.5 minutes at the moment. So in this case, well, it does actually tell us, or hinting, that this is a Bell Autos remap that's on this. So we will be power testing this one, essentially, and apparently I say essentially a lot, so drop it in the comments if you think I say essentially a lot. And yeah, if you've got a personal message for me as well, drop it in the comments. If you like something that I do, something I do frustrates you, let me know. Anyway, it's a private email. It's not a private email, it's to reference my some sponsorship for my race car, that was. So yeah, just finishing this up. We'll take a read of this one, and then we'll take the encryption key, and then what we do with that is then we send the what we've read and the encryption key data to APF at alivetuning.com. So we're almost there. Just finishing up. Once this is done, we'll save it. Obviously, I'll not show the customer's details. But essentially, this is what you will do if you've purchased this product and you want to use it for remapping. Oh, the map checksum is incorrect. Right then, folks. So this one has been tuned by someone else, and what you will see is you'll get a big red X, and it looks kind of quite scary. It's just an acknowledgement that the vehicle's been tuned, so just so you know what to do, ignore that. Copy the VIN. Copy the VIN. Copy the VIN. Hopefully I've copied the VIN. Okay. And then L90. So obviously I'm going to show this, but save. Okay. Right, so if you want to read the encryption key as well, if you want to, you need it if you want Alive to tune your vehicle. So that's that red. Copy the key, put it in your Right, what you need to do now, once you've got the file read and you've got the encryption key, I can turn the ignition off now. You can then, you must then send the file to APF at alivetuning.com. And when you do this, when you do send the file, obviously, if you name your file, customer's name, etc., we'd like the details of what sort of level of tuning you're wanting, how clean you want the exhaust, smoke-wise, what your modifications are, what you're using the vehicle for, and of course, as well, send us a log. So we'll show you how to take a log as well. But first things first, this is how to read the ECU, read the map from the ECU and take the encryption key. So. Just looking at building up some coolant temperature before we go any further, before we go power test, so bear with me. So just bringing the vehicle speed up now to 3000 RPM. Just a little bit more. And that is the RPM that I sync the dyno with, sometimes 3.5, it depends on what tyres are on the vehicle, the size, and if they vibrate, and if they wobble. Ideally you need to sit at that RPM for a good few seconds whilst they tell the dyno where you're at to sync everything. So only making around 1.2 bar of boost back then. Yeah, just under. Coolant's nearly there now. Wait a little bit longer. Right, so we're logging now and ready for a run. You're gonna have to forgive me if this camera angle's not very good. It's the first time I've used one of these. I'll look at the screen out the front there this time. End of the pull and press done, and then we want to save that run. I'm not going to show you the customer's too many details, but yeah, you'd save that run and send that to a live. So let's drop this. 168 horsepower and 392 newton meters. Just zoom in there, a lot easier when things are scaled. So yeah, not a bad graph from the previous tuner, but we're going to make a lot more. So yeah, this is a stage 3, what we're going to be doing with this one. And what we call a stage 3 is an uprated intercooler, a free-flowing exhaust system, and the mapping to suit. So that'll be a stage 3. And our goal, this one, around 190, somewhere between 190 and 200 horsepower, over 400 newton meters, 420, 430 newton meters. Customer has asked, can you make some strong power with without it belching out too much exhaust smoke from the exhaust? So that is our goal. So right, I'm going to save this and I'll catch up with you in a moment. Right, so reviewing some of the data now. Just got 4 basic parameters, so just ignore these 2 columns there. We're looking at C, D, E and F. And this one is your engine RPM, this one is the engine coolant temperature, this is the air intake temperature, and this one is actually your boost. This is actually read in kPa as well. So just scroll down here, just as the engine RPM increases to around 2000, we're actually making 1.13 bar of boost. Just continue to scroll down, so 2,500 RPM, nearly at 1.2 bar boost. 3,000, 1.2 bar, 3,500, 1.2, and I took the last data point, the highest rev RPM that we made on the pull on the log is 4,000, and obviously fueling was rolled off at that. You see boost sort of peak just around sort of 3,565, and then it kind of rolls off as the RPM runs out. So that's just a look at some of the basic parameters rather than putting all of the data in there and saving the lot. Right, so after the pull, with the tune that this one came in on, 168 horsepower and just shy, well, 390 newton meters, so not doing too bad, but yeah, the customer said it's nowhere near 200 horsepower, so our goal is to get somewhere close to that, and sort of smoke free at the moment. Previous tuners work, not doing too bad. It's nice to see that somebody else doing some tuning that just doesn't belch out plumes of black smoke. It's not what we want to see. So right, go grab the customer, let him know where it's at the moment, and then we'll get on with some reflashing with some alive tuning. Right, so what we're going to do at the moment is just make sure the vehicle's in, to just double check the vehicle's in really good health, is put a standard map on the car. Obviously it's coming with a tune and it is making some respectable numbers. But the fuel pump on this vehicle is very noisy. I may have included a clip on it earlier, but yeah, ignition's on. So, open, right, map only. So yeah, just again, this is a stock map going back on the car, just so we can check it and just make sure that on the dyno it makes around 120, 125 horsepower and around sort of 300 newton meters, which is what we commonly see, sort of somewhere between 280 and 300 newton meters. Once that's flashed on there, cool, I don't know if you can hear that, that's the fuel pump. A non-standard pump that can often not be ideal. So that's that. We'll go into next clip will be a power test with a standard map. We'll see how she does. Right, just putting a bit more temperature into this one now. It's just been a moment while we've been preparing a stock file, uploading it, vlogging it, creating the content. So just warm the engine up a little bit more, and then we'll power test that and see where we're at as a standard vehicle. It definitely feels standard. I'm having to use a lot more throttle just to bring the vehicle up to speed. It's definitely standard, has to be. So yeah, it's making around 80 horsepower at the wheels, which is about standard. We're just taking it to about 4,100 RPM. Just coasting down now. So, wait for the vehicle to stop. Right then. Why are we opening the bonnet, he says. Right, well, we are... Oh, let me move my microphone. We are fitting an ITG air filter in this one. It's got a paper filter in it, so yeah. Not the worst, but yeah. Yeah. So, one thing I want to do as well, I'm not going to show my phone right now because if I just go video, this is something that I do just to make sure there's nothing in the stuck in the intake, at least at this pace, so I can see that that's okay. I've found all sorts in there before. Dead birds and what's going on here? Dead birds, rags, gloves, birds' nests, all sorts. But yeah, just worth having a little look in there, just to make sure there's nothing's blocked. So yeah, ITG filter going in, and it's something that we've been doing for a very long time, these ITG filters. Come pre-oiled. We do supply and sell the service kits for these. So this, I would, but I wouldn't say that this is a filter for life, because nothing lasts forever. But you can service these, you can clean them, and they can go again. Drop that in there. Make sure it's all pressed down in the corners. I don't want to tell anyone to suck eggs, but the amount of filters that come in, and you've got a bit of the sealing edge sticking out, been trapped, or either way not right, and these are not. It's just resisting. There we go. Yep. Not forgetting to plug the ambient air pressure sensor in. MAF as well. And not forgetting to plug that in. So what we want to do as well for the remap file is make an adjustment to the actuator or wastegate, or both, shall we say. And what we want to do is just shorten the this rod here. I'm just going to start off by reducing the length of that rod by 2 full threads, and that should just give us an increase in boost. So we're looking for around sort of 1.4, 1.45 bar of boost pressure on this one, so we might need to chase that a little bit, but that is how we increase the boost on a pneumatically operated actuator without any boost control. What we're going to do now is flash the remap. Flash the remap onto the ECU, and then when that's remapped, when that's reflashed, we can go with some power testing. What I'll do is I might set up another camera and just record the remap that the vehicle came in on in the background, display that on the graph, and we'll do our run up with our remap overlaid. So essentially what you'll see, what's going on? Save. Stock map. And let's bring up this graph. We'll bring this graph up. This is what the vehicle came in with. This is the remap that it came in with. This is 168 horsepower remap and 392 Newton meters, I think it was. So yeah, it's still reflashing. Doesn't take too long. Cool little timer down there, and yeah. Just wait for that to finish flashing. I think in the meantime, close the bonnet. Okay. Still flashing. Finishing up. feels so much better on the throttle after testing the standard map. Cold on the coolant. Yeah. Just drive this one a little bit more. Just drive this one a bit, just to get a bit more temperature in it. Oh, that feels loads better. Forget how lazy a standard remap file is. I'm going to make a prediction, and this is going to be about 200 horsepower. And well, I'm going to guess 440 Newton meters. A lot, quite a lot. So still waiting for the coolant to warm up a little bit. This display here can actually display so many more parameters, but the less information you're displaying, the faster the refresh rate is. So it's almost instantaneously live at the moment. But if you were to log, I don't know, 30 parameters at once, you would have large delays between bits of data. So right, we're into the 80s now on the coolant, so 81 now. And we've got that 168 brake horsepower power graph on the screen there as a background. So I'm just gonna stop. Okay. Right, there we go. It's now recording. Save that. Right, so just back that one up. Not made any alterations to the mapping, but looking at the boost pressure light on the live data there, it looks like we need to make a bit more boost. So we've got an check engine light on as well. Oh, let's have a look at that. Yeah, we'll just ignore that one for a moment. High speed crank. Ooh. Okay. Maybe a dirty crank sensor being the culprit there, I would imagine. So, right, just all the usual codes here at the moment. Aircon, gearbox ABS. Yep, so there's one here at the bottom. Unknown fault. Again, still working on this software, things like that. Happy to show that at the moment things aren't complete, but early stages in this software. So right, I'll make an adjustment to the boost and we'll go again. Right, so that is an extra turn of preload, an extra 1 turn of preload on the actuator there. Why have we still got the engine light on? Dirty window. It's actually very scratched, and yeah, it's dirty, but it's very scratched as well. So I think it's scratched. Yeah, it is. All scuffed up. Yummy. Right, okay. Check it out. Let's go on here. See if we can make some more boost. See if that improves the torque at the bottom end. No, not quite. Yeah, so again, just to summarise, came in knowing that the vehicle was tuned, not knowing who by or how much horsepower, knew it wasn't anywhere near 200 horsepower, and just uploaded the biggest horsepower and torque that we've done today with this one, 192 horsepower and 408 Newton meters. So yeah, lovely, lovely, fantastic flat spread of torque. So you see a lot of vehicles that come in, and if they're not tuned by us, do not want to sound kind of that way. They'll make X amount of Newton meters, but they won't hold it for very, very long. So the torque will come up and it'll just drop straight away. Whereas that is very, very generous with the way that the torque's holding in there. Right, that brings us to the end of the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Something a little bit different, something that's never really been shown, maybe, or maybe not, on the channel. The Alive Power Flash. It's in our online shop now. Link and description below. See you next time. Bye.